So this is what the file looks like when you open it. The first thing they want you to do is change the file name. So I'm going to go to File, Save As, and I'm going to call it, I'm going to put it on my C drive here. Coursework 264 or 3. Okay. They say they want you to call it Fitness Tracker. Okay. Now, there are two views. One is the fitness report, which looks like this. I'm looking at the buttons here. One is the documentation. The first thing they ask you to do in the documentation is put my name in cell B3 and the date in cell B4. So me and the date. I like to do it this way. All right. Just put the mouse there. Then, next thing is to go to the next page, which is the actual fitness report. And this particular one, they ask you to put Daniel's name in cell C8 here. So we're going to put in Daniel Pridham, and in cell activity level sedentary. Sedentary is just a fancy word for saying this guy doesn't do much exercise. His age 45, his weight 193, so he's a fat guy. His height is 70 inches, 37 waist, which is better than mine, and his neck is 15.5, right? So that's the basic information. Then we're going to go to the documentation page. So we've got documentation here, fitness, explanation of formulas, documentation page. And just click the explanation of formulas sheet tab to make the active sheet, okay? So this is just the tab that they want you to look at, which is the description of what these formulas are. And just read about them, okay? And then you go back to the fitness report sheet tab and read the explanatory notes in B26 and F right here. They just want you to read what these things are, just so you know what you're talking about for this case. Okay, so let's go back up to the top here, find this cell C19 right here, and has a formula. So we're supposed to type in equals 703, and we put an asterisk sign, C11, and then a slash, C12, and then this funny looking symbol for square root, and then press enter, and we get this big long number here. And what we're going to do is simply, we're going to click on the cell and go up here and just reduce that, because we don't need all those decimals, right? To about 27.7, right? Put your mouse over here. So you've got that done right here, okay? Okay, so you've got that done. Then the body mass index formula, so that's in C21 down here. Similar formula. So this is equals 6.23 star, which means multiplication by C11, plus we're adding in 12.7 times C12 minus 6.76 multiplied by C10 plus 66. If we did it right and press enter, we get 1853.19. So basically what that means is he burns about 1,800 calories a day. And we don't really have to have the 0.19 in there, so we'll just go up here and we'll reduce that to 1,853 calories a day. Okay? Now let's look at the BMR. So we'll go down to C22, put in another formula, equals C21 times P8. And we find out that he burns 2,200 calories a day. Same thing, go up here. Oh, opposite, wrong way. All right, and we find out we burns about 2,000 calories today. All right, so let's just pause right there and see what we've got so far. Now, one of the little tricks I like to do when I'm working on something like this is, if I make a mistake, I don't like to have to go back to the beginning. So I'm going to go up here to the top. This is just the thing that I do. I go File, Save As, right, and then I just call it 2, right? And next time I make a few changes, I'll call it 3 and then 4. So rather than going back to the original one and work it through all again, I'll just go back to the previous edition every time I made a few changes. Okay, so what we're going to do next, we're going to go to these merge cells, B26, all right, down here, right? And basically, it just wants us to mark them up a little bit differently. So on the Home tab in the Styles group, so if you go up to the Home tab here, right, just click there, right? And then when it says the Styles group, which is this group here, now, what we're going to have to do is kind of just click around here, try to get this, okay, maybe click a cell here. Got to get this one here to open up. Maybe click something like that. Back again here. There we go. Okay, so sometimes you just got to click around a little bit to get these things to show. Okay. So here we are. We're going to go back up to Home tab, Styles group, right? So just close that little space here. Now in here, what we want us to do is to make this something looking a little bit different. So on the Home tab in the Styles, click the Cell Styles. All right, so this is the Cell Styles one. You got all these different colors here. Click the explanatory text one. So that's this one here. Oh, sorry, we have to go back. We have to go back and mark this. All right, Cell Styles, explanatory text, and then boom, it just kind of makes it gray and a little bit of font over to the one side. All right, so that's done. Okay, now the range C8 to C14. Let's go back up here to C8 to C14. Now, all they want you to do here is just mark this a different color. So when people are looking at the spreadsheet, they'll know what information to put in. So again, we'll go back to Cell Styles, we'll put in input. All that does is just make this a little bit of a color, all right? And then the non-adjacent range, C19, C22, etc. So we go to, just scroll down a little bit here, C19. Alright, C19, and want that to be the calculation style. So, like that, and then we'll go to these two, and same thing, calculation style. Alright, so that's why they have that little sort of orange color. Now let's just go here and go File, Save As, and I'm just going to call this 3 because I just want to have to work backwards so far. Right? Now, another big area, moving down the box, is all this sort of input here. I'm just going to do Control and make it just a little bit tiny smaller. What I did there was just put my finger on the Control button and move the cursor on the mouse just a little bit down. You can do this up or down just to make it a little bit easier, just so you can see the whole range of all these boxes, right? Because what they want you to do is format the range G22 to J44 with the input style. So you go to G22 and you go all the way down to J44, right? Just let that go. And then go back up here to Cell Styles here. Click on Input. It colors that a nice sort of little brown color, all right? That's what that means. Now we need a legend to identify which cells are input cells, which are calculated cells. So we'll go up to C2 here, right? And basically you just type in input values and then use the format painter to copy the formatting in cell C2, paste it into cell C4, okay? And then here we have calculated values, right? So in input values, right, once you go back here and put that. And for calculated values, once you go back here and put calculated values, right? So that's basically that, those colors. Sorry. side here. They want a little marker, so there, and then off to the side here. Sorry. There. So basically, what that means is the input values are this color, the calculated values are this color. Now see how the S kind of creeps over in the side here? Let's put our little cursor in the box there and make that so that it goes back this way. Alright, that's what I did. Okay. I made some changes. Let's go up here. File, save as. Put 4 in there. Okay, just for the sake of doing that. And then go back to our sheet. Okay, what's up next? Now what we're going to do this is next is some calculations in this box. So I'm going to just make it a little bit smaller so I can just see my way around there. Right? And I want you to drag the whole box. So H22 all the way down here. Okay. Now see this little thing that pops up there? That's called the quick analysis button. Right? And they want you to click it to display the quick analysis tool. So if you click that button, these little things pop up here, charts, totals, tables, etc. And when you click on each one, it gives you the range of all the different types of things you could do in that. Alright, so in this particular one, they want you to click the totals category, display the quick analysis tool. And in here, there's a bunch of them. One's called sum. So they want you to click on the sum button. And then you've got the sums at the bottom here. Cool, right? Now the next thing is these sums down here, what they want to do is have you put them up here. So basically all you have to do is just sort of drag them like this and then cut them, or just Control C, and then go back up here, Control V. Oops, did that wrong. Okay, let's do this properly. Right? So go up here, click cut, right? And put your cursor back in here, and then paste, right? Paste. So there you got the numbers in there properly. So I did it the proper way rather than the fast way. So these totals now appear up here. Now some other things I want you to do is to calculate the average minutes spent per exercise. So again, you select the H22 to J44 range, right over here. So this is the number of minutes you spent on each exercise. Again, you get this little quick analysis tool here that pops up, right? And this time, I want you to click on the totals tab, right? So when the totals tab pops up, click on average, not sum. Sum, you did sum last time. Now you click on average. Alright? Now you click on average. And you cut the formulas from that range and then paste them in the range G15 to I15. So, you go down here, cut these formulas, go up in here where it says average, and then paste, and you've stuck them in there. Alright? So you got all those numbers. The thing is though, that these numbers are way too high. With too many decimal spots. So what you go into is this little thing here, and you decrease these about 16.4, so 14.4. Okay? Let's go here to our file, save as, and I'm going to put in 5, just because if I forgot that, I don't want to go back a whole bunch. Okay? Now the next thing I want you to do is to calculate the total number of workout times per session in cell K21. Enter total minutes as the heading. So let's go to K21 right here. It wants to type in total minutes. Again, they want us to select this whole range here and use this little pop-up tool here. Now this particular time they want us to look at totals category, and they want us to click on the sum button. Okay? And then they want us to put that in the right. Next we're up here, K22 down to K44 with with the calculation cell style. So I'm just going to and cell style calculation. Okay. In J13, it wants to put in total minutes. And it wants to copy the formulas in the I-14 to I-15 range. So there's the I-14 to I-15 range. Copy and paste. Oops, we did that wrong. So let's do it this way. Copy, paste. Get the sum of all these. Right. Okay. Now, cell J13 wants to put total minutes as a heading. Copy the formulas in the range I-14 to I-15. So here we are in I-14, I-15. Paste them in the range J14 to J15. Copy, paste. All right. So there we go. Okay, they want us to calculate the medium exercise time. So this is on page EX145. Put the cursor in box G16. Click the insert function button. That's this little button right here. So we're going to click that button, right? A bunch of things pop up. In this search for a function box up here, type middle value. So we're going to type middle value, right? Then click the go button, right? Now these things change listing here. And they want us to click median. So we click on median, right? This is the description. In the selection, select a function box, click median, right? Then click the OK button, all right? Then it says collapse the dialog box. So that's what you do when you click up here. Just collapse the dialog box, right? To shrink it. Now in the worksheet, select the range H22 to H44. So put your cursor down in here, right? Select that, okay? H22 to H44. Right, then go and expand the dialog box, right? And click on OK. And when you click on OK, this number 15 shows up here, right? Then what you want to do is take that and copy that into the other cells. So paste. Sorry. Copy. Paste. Go back here. Just a second here. My mouse is. Okay, our formula. Sometimes what happens is when you try to do that, your fingers make mistakes. So you got to go back and redo this again, okay? So take those formulas out here. Sometimes if your mouse slips, so just go back to redo this again, right? Function box, type in middle value, right? Click on OK. That's right. Right, so now we're going to deal with the G17 box right here. formulas right here. Now, in the formulas ribbon, there are a lot of different tabs. I want to click on the one that says more functions. And this one has one that says statistical. So we're going to click on statistical, and we're going to scroll down here to the one that says minimum. All right. Now, so with the insert point in here, meaning putting the mouse in there, select the range H22 to H44. So H22 to H44, right? Then we click the OK button, right? Formulas, more functions, statistical, min, pops up. Put the insertion point up in there. So C says H22 to H43 appear, and we click on OK, and that turns to a 10. So that's the situation here. So what they want us to do now is copy the formulas in these boxes here and put them in these ranges here. So let's just do that copying, okay? So, put our mouse here, copy, paste. I'm just doing them one at a time in case I make a mistake. See, there's an example. Go back here again, copy, sec. This will be time to go save. Save as 6. Okay, let's go back. Copy, paste, paste. Good, and it matches the textbook, right? So we're doing so good so far. So what they want us to do is calculate the calories burned during Daniel's first workout. And we're going to go down to cell L21 and enter calories burned as the label. So here we are, L down to 21, calories burned, right? Now we have a formula we want to put in here. In L22, this one, enter this formula P20 times C11 times K22 divided by 125.7143. So we'll take a few seconds and type this in here. Equals P20, cell P20, times cell C11 times K22 divided by 125.7143. And we get 376. Well, let's not use all those decimal places. We'll just delete this. Let's say 376. And so looking at this 376, we're dragging them all the way down here. And we see these error values values, and as it explains in the textbook, they're supposed to be there because this is going to be a teachable point explaining to you what the error values are. So one of these in L31, we're going to double click the cell which displays the error value. In edit mode, the cell references used in the formula are color coded to match the corresponding cell. So we're going to look at the formula in that cell, okay? So there's the formula in that cell, and then we can see which parts of it are not correct. So let's look at what happened here. Just take it cell by cell. So the first one is P29. So let's just look at what P29 is, because obviously some value is not computing here. So you look at P and you go down to where 29 is, and it's a word. You can't multiply a word by a number, so that one's wrong. Then you look at C20. C20, there's no value in there, so that doesn't work right. You look at K31. So you go down to K31. That's a number that would have worked, right? So these two values here are words which can't be multiplied by numbers. That's the problem. Okay, so one of the ways we're going to fix this is we're going to take out the use of P29s, because what we're going to do is then add in this dollar sign in front of the P right here. We'll add in this dollar sign in front of the P, and then on the other side of the P add a dollar sign. Sorry, add a dollar sign. And then same thing with the C. We're going to add a dollar sign in front of the C and a dollar sign on the opposite side of the C. Alright, then we'll click enter. Dollar sign in front of the P, dollar sign on the other side of the P. And we're going to use value 20 instead of 29. Right. And then the dollar sign in front of the C, change that to an 11. And then you have a number. Okay? So that's how you check those things. So what we've done is added these dollar signs in on both sides of the P, both sides of the C, right? Click on OK, change it back again, and then we drag this down, and instead of getting zeros or value signs, we got the proper number of calories burned. Alright? Let's go File, Save As, 7. So, that's one of the ways of dealing with those error signs. And one of the things they wanted us to do was to identify the cell style with calculation. So we